Hi everybody, it's Jennifer Hoffman of EnlighteningLife.com, and today is Friday, April 5th, 2019. If you are aware of the celestial activity, we have a brilliant new moon today that has really empowered and energized everybody, and it's done the same thing for me too. So in this little video, I want to talk to you about a couple things that I wrote on Facebook today, something that I have been talking about for the last few weeks. And it has to do with this end of this 5-year cycle for me that has been extraordinarily difficult and something that has brought forward many life lessons for me, first and foremost of which is, well, how do I handle it when I get knocked down flat on my back and I have to pick myself up and move in a different direction, and I don't know if I can even do that. So this has been the story of my life. Those of you who know my story know that when I was 5 years old, I was paralyzed by a vaccine. I spent 2 years immobilized, so paralyzed from the neck down, and then I took another 3 years to learn how to walk again. I didn't really walk and without crutches and braces and all that till I was 11 years old. So I had originally decided when I was a little 5-year-old girl I wanted to be a ballerina, and that of course was not possible because I was too weak. My leg strength wasn't what it needed to be. I also lost part of my sense of balance. I would have been a very wobbly ballerina, and I have long-term nerve damage, some chronic pain, and muscular weakness still, decades after the paralysis happened. The last day that I walked, oddly enough, was the day JFK was shot, November 22nd, 1963. I didn't walk again until I was almost 11, like walk by myself till I was almost 11. So the story of my life, or part of my karmic history, is to figure out how to pick myself up after I've gotten knocked off my feet and go off in a different direction. So changing the direction of my life, changing that trajectory has been part of my life lesson. And I'm sure many of you can relate to. So as you all know, also, I went to college. I have multiple business degrees. I have a really strong technology background. I wrote the first book on the internet. I wrote the first e-business courses way back in 2000. And my background's always been in technology. And my dream was to be the senior VP of an IT organization in a Fortune 50 company. And then I got laid off 6 times in 8 years, so that didn't happen. And I had to create my life in a different direction. I was visited by Archangel Uriel. I was asked to become a channel, a spiritual teacher, an author, and this is what I do now. And I love my work, but it was, again, another opportunity for me to get knocked out of my career and pick myself up and move myself in a different direction. So this is where we're getting to the things that have happened in this 5-year cycle that's ending that I told you about. So I'm going to take you back to 5 years. It was about 2013. So between like early 2013 to early 2014. And before that, in 2011, I started writing about congruence and wholeness and integration and the whole, you've heard me say it so many times, ascension is an integration, not a takeover. We're in the 3D, 5D integration, alignment, the path of healing, the multi-steps that it goes to. I've been writing about that since 2011 when I first started, and really focused on it in 2013 and then into 2014. The 2014 predictions were an ebook that I sold, and in that, of course, you're talking about congruence, alignment, wholeness. And in June 2013, I wrote an article, and right in the middle of that article was the phrase, becoming a 360-degree human. Now, I do a lot of research. I verify my information. If I find something that I write that kind of has a particular ring to it, I'll go make sure that I'm not infringing on anyone's copyright or their trademark, or that I'm not using somebody else's material. And that was an original, completely original concept, becoming a 360-degree human. So not just moving out of healness, not just becoming whole, but achieving congruence where all the parts work together in a 360-degree model of the energetic harmony. Great, isn't it? Sounds wonderful. So you can imagine my surprise when around early October 2014, I get an invitation to purchase a course called Becoming 360 from the domain becoming360.com. And I'm looking through the sales page for the course and I see congruence, wholeness, integration, alignment, energy, awareness. Every single thing that I've been writing about for the last almost 2 years, it's all there. It's my content. And it's in this program, and it's not my program. I'm not selling it. So I immediately wrote to the person and said, look, you're using stolen content. You can't do that. This is completely illegal. And of course, I got no response. So it set me back. It was another opportunity for me to literally get thrown, knocked off my feet, and I was going to have to figure out how I was going to do this. But I follow the law. I'm an experienced business person. I have an education in business. I know what the law is. So I follow the law. And I hired an attorney who, of course, has tried to get this person to admit that what they're doing is breaking the law, relinquish the name, the trademark. They also trademarked, by the way, my Becoming 360. And nothing worked, nothing happened. So our next step was to take them to court, which is, of course, a very distinct possibility. But something happened over the last few days, and I decided I own this content, and I can prove that I own it. So Becoming 360, the concept, is mine, and I'm reclaiming it. And I'm going to put myself back on track for my work, which is talking to you about self-awareness, energetic congruence, alignment, the Becoming 360 model, which is creating divine harmony. That's all my work. And I can prove it's my work and it belongs to me, and I'm not going to let somebody else steal it from me. So here's the issue for the person who has stolen my content. Copying an article and putting it on your blog and saying, hey, I wrote this great article, isn't it lovely? That's plagiarism at worst, and it's copyright infringement at even worse than that, which are both illegal. But taking someone's content, putting it in a package and selling it, now that's theft. That's grand theft. That's wire fraud. That's bank fraud. That's trafficking in stolen property. That's trafficking across state lines in stolen property. That's, if it's sold internationally, that's international sale of stolen property. Now you get Interpol involved. So there's some serious federal crimes that are being committed here. But the bottom line for me is this. I had something taken away from me once again, and it really threw me for about 5 years. I really struggled with how I was going to really do the work that I was being guided to do while somebody else had been stealing my content and has continued to steal my content. This person literally mines my website, my blog, my social media presence, and takes whatever content she thinks is cool and great and would benefit her audience without, of course, attribution, without license, without paying me royalties, without even acknowledging that this content does not belong to her. And every time I catch her on it. So I have a full record of everything that has been done. But that's not going to make a difference, obviously, because it hasn't so far. But here's the bottom line for me. I got knocked off my feet once again. And I struggled with it. And interestingly enough, it has taken me as long to deal with this issue today as it did from the day I was paralyzed until the moment that I could walk by myself again. 5 years. And it's been 5 tough years. There hasn't been a day in the last 5 years where I haven't struggled with the unfairness, the injustice, the anger, the frustration of someone who professes to be a business coach and professes to be a person of integrity, stealing my work, blatantly stealing my work, and not just the Becoming 360 concept. There are other things that she stole in the business side of my work, in certainly the spiritual teaching side of my work. It's nonstop. So I hope this stops it, because I'm not going to relent until this person stops. I'm not the only person, by the way, she steals content from. I think I'm the most aware of it, and certainly probably the most prolific writer and the most prolific person that she steals from, but I'm not the only one. I've seen other examples of people's work in her writing. So here's my message to you, and this is the purpose of this. We do have issues in life. We have lessons, we have karma, we have things we need to overcome because we need to overcome them. So in order for that to happen, we get knocked flat on our back, we get knocked off our feet, we get things that happen. And literally from one moment to the next, the morning of November 22nd, 1963, I was happily skipping off to school. Glad, I loved school. And I was in kindergarten, and I was happily going off to school and deciding, actually my parents had told me that I was going to start ballet lessons very soon, and I was very, very happy about that. The evening of November 22nd, I'm on my way to the hospital, paralyzed from the neck down, practically near death because I had a really high fever. So things happen, and they happen that fast. But the lesson for us is not that this happened. It's how do you pick yourself up? How do you start over again? How do you continue the trajectory of your life? Maybe making a few course corrections. I can't be a ballerina, but hey, I can still dance. And doing that without getting depressed and without allowing what's happened to us become the story of our lives, but letting the victory over that become the story of our lives. So I hope this has been helpful to you. It's certainly been helpful to me. I'm reclaiming my work. Becoming 360 is going to be my newest program. It's going to be the title of my newest book. And I look forward to sharing those things with you. The book is almost ready for publication. The program is ready, and it's going to be released. And I welcome you to the new paradigm of Becoming 360 with the promise that it will teach you properly how to become congruent in your life, how to achieve that state of divine harmony, and how to do that with integrity and authenticity. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you all too for your support. And I promise you that Becoming 360 is going to be a great model for our next paradigm, our next level of the 3D, 5D integration moving forward. See you on the next video.